Haumatakiapi, KILI Radio Anakopta. My name is Arlo Ironclad. This afternoon I have some very special guests from New Zealand and from the Maori tribe. Good afternoon.
Kia ora. Kia ora.
Kia ora. That is the word. I'm learning as we speak right now. I might be doing the haka next. What do you recommend to our young to start speaking the language? Because nowadays, if you see two young men walking down the road and they greet each other, you know, in Lakota, they might giggle a little bit that they're saying, "Oh, we're speaking Lakota," you know, they get a little excited. And how do we get past the giggle? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The easiest way to probably deal with that is to normalise the language in the home, at schools, in the community. Once it becomes a normal language amongst the community, you get past all that. And I think that's it's a simple question, but it has complex answers, and I don't think there's one particular answer that you can say that's the answer.
I started learning Māori at secondary school, so from the age of 13. You know, I look back and cringe at the kind of language I had when I started using it with my own children. I would say to all parents, every word you teach, every phrase you teach is one less phrase. It's one less word that they're going to have to learn. They're just going to know. You don't have to wait till everything's all lined up and you've got your amazing array of fluent teachers, of grandmothers who can come and are all happy and committed to doing this. You can start wherever you're at as long as you've got that passion and that fire in your belly.
When you immerse children in their language, retaining that language, vocab, sentence structures, the culture is absolutely effortless. It becomes and it shapes their worldview from the start. So indeed, I can relate to the fact that you're having difficulty in training up older students, because for them, as you say, it's the 45 minutes in a day. But in the kohanga reo setting, I mean, children's brains are shaped differently. They're really plastic. They have an ability to retain language at an amazing rate. You could give them 5, 10 languages, and if they're all detailed and demonstrated appropriately, they'll sift them into the right order and keep things and retain it all. So that's definitely one of the strong points. In terms of running it and setting it up, I might pass to one of my
Older people.
Thank you. I would say, in a nutshell, get your grandmothers together and find a garage and let them do as they will and let them be guided. Kohanga reo in New Zealand was largely dominated by our grandmothers. They all got on the same wavelength, same thought, same cause. And they started kohanga reo in their backyards, in their garages with very little funding. So it's not, at that point, it wasn't about money, it wasn't about funding, it was about people being on the same page and having the right teachers to teach the young babies, and who better than our grandmothers.
Right. That sounds like it was a natural process.
It seemed to be, because it spread like wildfire throughout the country, and kohanga reo became the first movement for language revitalisation, I would say, to spearhead the language revitalisation movement. And they decided that as elders at a summit meeting conference, they decided that this would be the way that the language would begin to grow.